In the heart of the dense forest stood a lake, its waters dark and foreboding, shrouded in mystery and fear. Local legends whispered of a curse upon the lake, warning fishermen and adventurers alike to stay far away. But curiosity, as it often does, beckoned the bold to its shores. Among those drawn to the lake was Jake, a seasoned angler with a thirst for adventure that overshadowed any superstition. Armed with his fishing gear and determination, he ventured into the woods, guided by stories of monstrous catches and whispered horrors. As he reached the edge of the lake, an eerie mist rose from its surface, obscuring what lay beneath. Ignoring the chill that crept up his spine, Jake cast his line into the murky depths, eager to test his skills against whatever lurked below. Hours passed with little success, and the sun began to sink below the horizon, casting long shadows across the water. Just as Jake prepared to call it a day, his line suddenly went taut, pulling him forward with unexpected force. With a grunt of surprise, he struggled to reel in his catch, the water churning and bubbling as whatever he had hooked fought against him. Heart pounding, Jake finally managed to haul his prize onto the shore, only to stagger back in horror at what lay before him. It was no fish that writhed and thrashed at his feet, but a grotesque abomination straight from the nightmares of ancient lore. Its twisted form was a grotesque amalgamation of scales and tentacles, its eyes burning with a malevolent intelligence that sent shivers down Jake's spine. In a panic, he stumbled backward, tripping over his own feet as he scrambled to escape the creature's grasp, but it was too late. The creature lunged forward with lightning speed, its tentacles wrapping around Jake's legs and dragging him screaming into the depths below. Far from civilization, nestled deep within a remote valley, flowed a river teeming with life and death in equal measure. It was said that the spirits of those who had perished in its unforgiving currents still haunted its banks, seeking vengeance on the living who dared to trespass upon their domain. Among the bravest, or perhaps the most foolish, was Sarah, a thrill-seeker with a penchant for danger that bordered on obsession. Determined to test her mettle against the river's legendary inhabitants, she embarked on a solo kayaking expedition, heedless of the warnings that echoed in her ears. As she navigated the treacherous rapids, Sarah felt a chill wind sweep down from the mountains, carrying with it whispers of the past and the promise of doom. Ignoring the sense of unease that gnawed at her insides, she pressed on, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. But as she rounded a bend in the river, she was greeted by a sight that froze the blood in her veins, a spectral figure, pale and ethereal, drifting silently upon the water's surface. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, fixated upon Sarah with a hunger that sent shivers down her spine. Paralyzed with terror, she watched as the figure drew nearer, its form twisting and contorting with each passing moment. And then, with a sudden burst of speed, it lunged forward, its icy fingers closing around Sarah's throat with a grip that stole the very breath from her lungs. Gasping for air, she fought against the spectral assailant, her paddle swinging wildly as she struggled to break free. But the spirit's grasp was unyielding, its grip tightening with each passing second until Sarah could feel her consciousness slipping away. Just when all seemed lost, a blinding light pierced the darkness, driving back the specter with a force that sent it shrieking into the night. Blinking away tears of relief, Sarah found herself face to face with a figure bathed in radiant light, a guardian spirit, coming to her aid in her hour of need. With a gentle touch, the spirit guided Sarah to safety, its presence warding off the malevolent forces that lurked within the river's depths. And as she emerged from the water, shaken but alive, she knew that she would never again tempt fate in the haunted waters that lay beyond. Out upon the open sea, where the horizon stretches on forever and the depths conceal untold secrets, sailed the trawler Cassandra's Curse, a vessel steeped in legend and whispered tales of woe. For generations, it had plied the waters in search of riches untold, its crew bound by a dark pact that none dared to break. Among those who called the cursed trawler home was Captain John, a weathered seafarer with a haunted look in his eyes and a past shrouded in mystery. For years he had served as master of the ship, guiding her through storms and tempests with a skill that bordered on the supernatural. But as the years wore on, the crew began to whisper of strange happenings aboard the trawler. Whispers of voices in the night, of shadows that moved of their own accord, and of a curse that had followed them across the seven seas. Undeterred by such tales, Captain John pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the curse that plagued his ship. But with each passing day, the supernatural occurrences grew more frequent and more terrifying, until even the bravest among them trembled at the thought of what lurked in the darkness below. It was on a moonless night, with the wind howling and the waves crashing against the hull, that the curse finally revealed its true form. As the crew gathered on deck, their faces pale with fear, a monstrous shape rose from the depths, its eyes burning with a hatred that chilled the soul. With a deafening roar, the creature lashed out, its tentacles snaking across the deck with deadly precision. Panic ensued as the crew fought for their lives, their screams lost in the fury of the storm that raged around them. But amidst the chaos, Captain John stood firm, his eyes blazing with a determination born of desperation. With a mighty roar, he rallied his crew, leading them in a final desperate assault against the creature that threatened to drag them all to a watery grave. And as dawn broke over the horizon, the cursed trawler sailed on, battered but unbroken, its crew united in their victory over the darkness that had sought to claim them. For though the curse may linger still, they knew that as long as they stood together, they would never again fear the horrors that lurked beneath the waves. From the forbidden lake to the haunted river and beyond, the world is filled with tales of terror and wonder that defy explanation and beg to be told. For whether it be the depths of the ocean or the shadows of the forest, there are places where the line between reality and nightmare grows thin, and where the bravest souls may find themselves tested in ways they never thought possible. So heed these cautionary tales, dear reader, and remember that even in the darkest of nights, there is always a glimmer of hope to be found. For though the horrors of the deep may be many, so too are the heroes who dare to face them, their courage lighting the way for generations yet to come.